Morning, everyone. We're here for a special meeting, February 2nd, 2022 for the election. We'll call the meeting to order. It is 11:12 a.m. Al, do you want to do a roll call, please?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just one. District 3. Here. And I'm here, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, we have a quorum, Miigwech. Next up is review and approve the agenda. We have 5 things on the agenda. The first one is appointment to the election board members. Number 2 is motion for election contest appeals form selection. Number 3 is appointment of elections contest judge and alternate. Number 4 is appointment of MCT Court of Election Appeals judge. And number 5 is certification of candidates. So that's what we're going to go with today. So any discussion on the agenda? Motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Alan, second.
Second.
Second by Annie. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Miigwech. First off, we have the appointment of the election board members.
I don't have that information. Lori does.
So hold on 1 second. I'm gonna pull the names up here in just 1 second. And just, Mr. Chairman, so we're supposed to have 5 board members. We did have 4 board members that had applied. And so we will still need to find 1 more for appointment.
We need one more election board member. So if you're on TV, please get the word out there that we need 1 more election board member. So thank you.
So the recommendations would be Laverne Hisgun, Robert Thompson, Beverly Smith, and Mindy Wolbert.
Any questions?
Motion.
Okay, motion by Alan, second.
Second.
Second by Andy. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries. Miigwech. Next up is motion for election contest appeals form selection.
Mr. Chair, the election ordinance requires the RBC to appoint or to clarify which forum appeals from the contest would be heard. And the 2 choices are the MCT Court of Election Appeals or the White Earth Tribal Court of Appeals. And historically, White Earth has chosen to have those election contest appeals heard in the White Earth Tribal Court of Appeals. And I believe that that continues to be the recommendation from legal and administration.
Discussion, council.
Motion.
Motion by Alan.
Now, this is for the judges?
No, this is for the Court of Appeal, or what court is going to hear the Court of Appeals, whether it be the MCT Court or the White Earth Court. And we're recommending
Okay.
White Earth Court.
Second.
Okay, second by Andy. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up is appointment of election judge, contest judge and alternate.
Lori.
Mr. Chairman, the recommendations are Frank Bebo as the election contest judge and the alternate be Robert Blazer.
I'll move.
Motion by Alan,
Second.
second by Andy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Miigwech. Next up is appointment of MCT Court of Election Appeals judge.
Mr. Chair, my recommendation is Robert Blazer.
Any questions?
Was Frank our last one?
Trying to recall, I believe yes. I think originally, this is Veronica Newcomer. I believe that yes, I think that Mr. Bebo was the election contest judge, and then any appeals or contests from that got appealed to our court, which I believe had our Court of Appeals on it, if I'm recalling correctly.
So Frank Bebo was the MC Whiter's choice in past for the Court of Election Appeals judge?
I believe he was the election contest judge.
Does he have any interest in serving still?
I know I reached out at the request of Ms. York. I reached out to Mr. Bebo. He said that he's available to serve as judge. And then I also reached out to Mr. Blazer, or Judge Blazer. He said he was available to serve as Court of Appeals judge. So both are available. It's up to the RBC on who you want to appoint. And the previous motion, Mr. Bebo was appointed as the election contest judge.
So Frank would be willing to serve on the election appeals, MCT?
Secretary Roy, the recommendation for Robert Blazer was to have two different judges since Frank was the election contest judge here and had previously been for Whiter. So the idea was that if it went to an MCT court judge, we would have the other judge, which was why I brought forward the recommendation of Robert Blazer. Otherwise, he would be appealing his own potential, you know what I mean? Be the same person appealing and then going.
I see what you're talking about. All right, yeah.
So we need a motion.
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, motion by Raymond. Raymond joined the meeting, so. Motion by Ray, second.
Second.
Second by Annie, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. And then the last one is the certification of candidates. Who wants to cover that?
I'll actually let Ms. Newcomer take over if that's right, Ms. York.
Yes, please.
Thank you. So I have compiled a group of 20 packets that each contain a certification letter, the candidate certification of eligibility, as well as the candidate's notice of candidacy. So for this election cycle, we had 20 total candidates. And that breaks down as 7 candidates for Secretary Treasurer. There are 4 candidates for District 1 Committee Person and 9 candidates for District 2 Committee Person. And so with the help of our compliance department, we were able to complete the backgrounds, compile all the documents. Legal department reviewed all of the documentation to ensure that the candidates met the qualifications for eligibility and candidacy. And so with my recommendation, it's my understanding that all of the candidates for Secretary Treasurer are eligible to be certified by the RBC. And so I did submit also a draft letter for the RBC to submit to the MCT TEC to certify these. So I believe that all of the 7 candidates for Secretary are certified. And then the candidates for District 1, I believe all 4 of those candidates should also be certified. I believe they all meet the necessary qualifications. And then of the 9 recommendations for candidates for District 2, I believe that there is 1 individual who does not meet the candidate requirements, and that is due to a background issue. And so that is specifically spelled out. But I'm happy to answer any questions. I don't know how much detail the council wants to have on this, but we did make sure that everybody was at least 21 years old by the time of the primary election, that they're an enrolled member, that they've resided within the reservation boundaries. They don't have any convictions for felonies, and they don't have any convictions for any lesser crimes. That would be those crimes against the tribal organizations or tribal governments. And so if there's questions, I'm certainly happy to answer any of them. I think that there was maybe potentially one candidate that I believe their address is, if you Google it, the address looks like it's outside the reservation boundaries, but historically that person had been previously cleared for certification for candidacy because I believe their address is within the disputed territories in Clearwater County. And so I think the past councils have certified that candidate to move on for the primary and potential general elections. But that's basically just a summary of what I have. But if we wanted to go line by line for each candidate, we can do that too. But I'll just defer to whatever the council wants.
Council, do you have any discussion on the candidates?
Ma'am, two questions for you, Lenny. On that, says here on the form here, I'm going to sign, it says candidacy in the 2022 general election. That's fine. It doesn't have to say primary election. It just has to say general.
Does the form specify generally?
I don't believe that it does. I think that that's the same form that we submitted in 2022.
Yeah. No, I think it's okay because we're not specifying, right now it's not specified whether the only reason there's a general or a primary is when there's two or more candidates. There are two or more candidates for each position. But until all certification processes are done, it's an election. It's just the regular election process.
And I can certainly,
Okay.
I can amend any of the verbiage in that letter. I have it as a draft, certainly. And so if there's any modifications that we want to make to the verbiage, I'm happy to do that.
Well, can we just call it a 2022 regular election?
That's what I would recommend, yes, the 2022 regular election.
Sure, and I can make that amendment and distribute.
And then Mr. Fine also on the one individual with a questionable address there. What does the ordinance say? The MCT election ordinance?
So the MCT election ordinance does specifically talk about the exterior boundaries of the reservation or other lands. I actually have it right here. Or other lands. But it's also says that it's up to the RBC. Now, as Ms. Newcomer had pointed out, this address is within the 4 disputed townships, which the state and the county governments, of course, say is not within the boundaries of the reservation, but White Earth has historically maintained and by official action of the RBC has maintained that those 4 disputed townships are part of the reservation. And that's where certifying somebody who lives within those 4 disputed townships would be consistent with that prior position of the RBC. But again, it is a gray area, so it's at the discretion of the RBC. From a legal standpoint, both Ms. Newcomer and I believe that the RBC is on solid legal footing with both the election ordinance and prior precedent of White Earth to certify that candidate.
Okay, the one candidate I see was born 1069. So he's like,
Yeah,
he's real old.
that must
Is
be
that a typo?
yes, it would be a typo. It would be
Yeah, yes.
1969.
I thought I caught all my typos. But the year, the calculation of how old that candidate would be is correct. So my apologies for that. And I can also amend that too. This doesn't change anything substantive. But yeah, that would be a typographical error.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do we need a motion to certify with changes to that, or what do we need to do?
Yes. So I believe what we would request would be a motion to certify the secretary treasurer candidates, a motion to certify the District 1 candidates, and then a motion to certify the District 2 candidates, and then a motion to not certify the one District 2 candidate.
Correct.
So we'd be looking for 4 separate motions and votes.
Okay, motion.
Okay, motion for the secretary treasurer candidates, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candidates. Motion by Annie? Correct?
Yes.
Okay, motion by Annie,
Second, Chair.
second by Raymond, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion for District 1,
Motion.
motion by Annie, second by
Alan.
Alan. I think Ray, does Ray have to kind of
No, he doesn't. have
okay,
to
he doesn't,
recuse
okay,
himself.
okay. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Motion for District 2 candidates.
No, let's be clear.
Hold on.
This is the motion for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, to certify 8 candidates.
8 of the 9. Motion to certify 8 candidates in District 2.
Motion.
Motion by Annie, second by Raymond.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries.
Now, a motion to not certify 1 candidate for District 2.
Motion to not certify 1 candidate in the District 2. Motion by Raymond,
Second.
second by Annie. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Alan,
Second.
second by Annie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Get well, guys. Stay safe.
Miigwech.
Be good.
Good.
Cut all my